Oh, good God. You looking fine, oh? Oh, bro, it's so dirty. Ugh, hate it. Cold start. It's very cold out. It's pretty warm out. What is good, boys? Welcome back to another video with your boy. If you guys are new here, my name is Chris. We're building my MK7 GTI here on the channel. We go fast, have a good time. If that's something that interests you, you know the deal. What's good? Welcome back. I have a sweet idea for a video that I get. You know what I mean? In today's video, if you didn't see last video, we did a little burnouts in the rain video. That'd be right, yeah. In this one, I'm gonna try to cover everything quickly because I hate talking videos, but I'm gonna use some icons and pictures and descriptions and videos to make it interesting. All right, I brought the list.
The list?
The list. You know what's on this list? Don't read it. It's not for you. Do you have a GTI? Do you have a Golf R?
Do all your fans have a Golf R?
Yeah. Yeah, they all have GTIs. All of them, every one of them. They all do. The list is for us, not you. I'm gonna cover everything, beginning to back. Let's say you buy a GTI, right? 2015 or 2016? Actually, it's gonna be 16 plus because everything after that doesn't really have the same problems. They're all pretty much the same. 15 and 16 have differences, but I'm gonna tell you right now how to make the perfect daily GTI to have a good time, have fun, problems they have, problems they don't have, things I wish I knew in the beginning that I knew now, and I'm gonna share that with you. Let's go. Welcome to the cabin. It's 29 degrees here in Vermont. It's very cold. It's freezing. It's a Sunday. I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna make all these points really quickly, and that's why I did this, because I like to ramble and I like to rant, and then that makes for a boring video. Let's start at the very beginning. You're going to buy a GTI, and you're either gonna buy a 2015 or a 16 plus, right? And the only difference that you need to worry about is if you buy a 2015, the bearings in the turbo are not as good, and they were not upgraded until 2016. Therefore, if you push anything past like 26 pounds, I've heard, they pop. That's point number one. That's really the only big thing that stood out to me about the 2015 GTI. Let's say you get into a 2016. A couple things you're gonna want to check for, right? Water pump status. Everybody knows. I know that sounds like it should be obvious, but not everybody knows. The water pump on this car is always bad. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It is only a matter of time before it goes bad. And there's actually a warranty on it, so check the warranty status and everything like that. When you get the car first initially, check that. How's my clutch so heavy?
Do you want me to carry it for you?
Yes, please. Very heavy. Heavy clutch.
Humor.
Right at the top of the list. All right, if you live in the Northeast, this is way more prevalent than if you're in the South. Take care of the paint right away. Look at it. I wish I knew this because now I'm having problems. When you get your GTI, they are known to chip around any of the fenders in the lower door, I don't know what to call it, or the bottom of the fenders, anywhere fender-esque. Check your paint, take care of your paint right away, because if you get it corrected and then you get maybe a ceramic coat, or you do think about PPF for the front, yeah, take care of your paint, because if you do it first, it'll last way longer. And I wish I knew that at the beginning, because I didn't really take care of the paint. I did everything else first, and now my paint's going to shit, and I'm going to pay more to fix it later, which really sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, biggest controversy about this car that drives me effing insane. Everybody thinks that doesn't know about the car, oh, I'm just gonna put exhaust on, it's gonna be loud. Nope, the exhaust in the catback changes the tone. I don't care if you ran a straight pipe on this car with a stock down pipe, it still wouldn't be that loud, right? The catback changes the tone, and the down pipe changes the volume of which you got going through it, you know what I'm saying? Anywho, next thing, we're gonna talk about down pipes. So, here's where things get a little hairy. Down pipes on these cars, everybody knows about the cell light. It's inevitable. Like, a lot of down pipes are gonna give you a cell light. You can either do an O2 sensor spacer, which I also hear sometimes doesn't work, or you're gonna have to shop and spend a little bit extra money and get a down pipe. I think, don't quote me on this because I don't really remember, but I think MAP and I wanna say IE, I really don't remember the companies. cell light certified down pipe that you should be safe to run and things like that. Just keep that in mind. When you get into that kind of side of things, you might have a cell light, that's all I'm saying. And then you're gonna wanna think about tuning, right? If you're gonna tune your car, you're gonna need the hardware to do it. Two big options, right? You're gonna run an AccessPort, you're gonna run like an IE style dongle for your laptop. And those are the two easiest setups. And then if you run an AccessPort, you got like EQT, Sneaky Tune, and I think 5150 does AccessPort. Okay, so let's say you get into the problem where you're like, well, you know, I want a manual or I want a DSG. Okay, here's your problem. If you have a DSG, you need to maintain it. You gotta get like the little filter cleaned, you gotta get it maintained, and that's something you're gonna need to worry about. With the DSG, you're gonna be faster, you're gonna be able to hold more power without doing the clutch. But you gotta tune it, excuse me.
Ew.
Sorry. So, and let's say you have a manual. A manual, if you're gonna tune it, if you're gonna make power, if you're gonna do stuff, you're gonna have to get into a clutch, whether it's a OEM replacement, or not a replacement, if it's like a stage 2, stage 3, all that doesn't matter. I'm not gonna superly get into clutches because that could be a whole another video of itself. They're a lot. Yeah, so just understand if you get a DSG, you're gonna be faster, but you're gonna pay a little bit more in the sense of like it needs to be tuned and it needs to be maintained. But if you get a manual, then you're gonna want to make sure you're thinking about your clutch. That's really good. Oh God, let's talk about your intake temperatures. One thing you're probably gonna want to upgrade, because the stock one on this is dookie, especially if you live in a southern state that is a lot warmer. You're gonna want to do your front mount intercooler kit. Other companies make full replacements that you just bolt right in, and or you can do like the ARM front mount intercooler kit, which is what I'm running. But there's a lot of options. And then on top of that, these cars, if you don't know, they run really hot oil temperatures. So maybe you want to look into doing an oil cooler, because again, somewhere southern where it's really hot, then you're going to constantly be on top of your temps, and then after a while you're going to wear out all your seals and they're going to burn up. Think about your intake temperatures as well as your oil temperatures. Okay, now that you've got your hardware to tune, you've got your front mount intercooler to keep it cool, you got your downpipe so you can push a little more pressure. I'm not gonna get into intakes. We all know how intakes work on this platform. Don't worry about the intake, do an intake, I don't care, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna leave that out of this video because it's such a controversial thing on this platform. At least do a drop-in filter so that you can get a little bit more airflow going through. If you really wanna make the beans, you really wanna make a little more power, usable around town, you're gonna either go with an IS38 or a hybrid turbo. Now, I'm using EQT because that's really what I know a lot about. EQT has an IS38 Plus replacement that if you can run ethanol, I would recommend running the IS38 for a daily setup, because with ethanol, you can make 400 wheel. Now, if you're like me, you don't have ethanol, you can only have pump, and you can only run pump, I would strongly push you towards a Vortex. So EQT makes a Vortex and a Vortex XL. Hybrid IS20 is the Vortex and a hybrid IS38 is the XL. IS38 is an extremely good, affordable option for a little more power, but you will only get to 400 tuned on ethanol. That's what it comes down to. And I'm probably not gonna put a lot of fueling things into this, because when you're getting out of the daily range of like high pressure fuel pump, low pressure pump, MPI, if you know about that stuff, then you're not watching this video. All right, now that you've got your really good GTI, you got turbo upgrade, downpipe, you're ready to bang around town. You got a tune by EQT because you're a gangster. What you're really gonna need? Tires. Invest in tires. I learned that the hard way. But you're gonna want a good tire, and you might want to think about dropping to like a 17-inch wheel instead of an 18, so you can get a bigger sidewall, get a little more grip. Depends on how much power you're gonna push. But point being, tires. Take this time now. Go down there, hit the like button for your boy. If you're enjoying this informational content, spark plugs. Keep track of spark plugs. Anyway, plugs. Keep track of plugs. Look up, I'm again using EQT, I'm sorry. Look up EQT's website. They have everything listed for what you need for gapping, what's the best plug, what's not a good plug, and what they recommend. Plugs. Keep track of plugs. Please, please keep track of plugs. They crack and they ruin these cars. That's the biggest thing that will not make this last. And now that you're building your perfect GTI, it's so good, I'm choking. I am actually grateful enough to be working with Strafe Design. Right now they're having a Black Friday sale. Go down there, use code Kenya for 10% off. That way, not only is your GTI running good and running healthy, get some aero bits on there, looking fine and fresh. go check them out, Strafe Design. Let's go! Actually, to sum this up, 2 things I want to add. A couple things, actually. Small things. If you want to put down a little bit more of the torque, think about a Dogbone insert. That way, you're not getting so much flex like this. Because if you get into engine mounts, again, getting out of the daily range kind of thing. 2, methanol kit. If you're on pump and you want to run an IS38 and you want to make more power, I think USP Motorsport makes a really good ethanol kit. 600 bucks, make like 50 more wheel. Also a really good option for more power. I haven't heard any issues at all. I actually plan on running that myself. The top of the list that everybody changes is like a shifter. Everybody does like the ECS Short Shifter, which is actually what I'm running now, which I kind of regretted. Not because it wasn't good, but if you want a really good shifter in the GTI, get yourself a clean knob, whatever you like, that's your preference, and then get the Holy Shift Kit. I think Deutsch Auto Parts makes that. The Holy Shift Kit, I've heard nothing but amazing things about, and I've felt it in a couple of my friends' GTIs, and it's so good. Now that you've got your tuned, turbo swapped, upgraded clutch, perhaps maybe DSG, maintained, fast daily 360 to 300 or 400 horsepower GTI, you're ready to rip, bro. And that's everything you need to know. These things will last, they take a beating. This car, I got it at 50,000 miles and I tuned it the second I got it. And we are coming right up on 110,000 miles. Tuned, maintained, and she's a ripper, and I love this car. That's why I'm so excited for the new car. Because then I can focus on this, and this can be way more fast, and I can put money into this as far as being fast, and then I can build a hopway car, because that's really what I want. You know, a little Jimmy Oaks style. So, to wrap this up, I say so a lot, really hate that. Therefore, to conclude this, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little informational video. I don't do this enough, and I get a lot of these questions in the comments, and that's why I feel like sometimes it's better to just address them. So, things to look for. See, I said it again. From here on, I have the utmost.
You sound like you're writing my papers.
I'm self-editing. You guys can expect this for the future. We're keeping the GTI, and the GTI I'm gonna keep clean. I'm gonna do like a nice set of lightweight wheels, and I'd like to go a little bit lower. We still gotta do some coilovers, and then focus on this being faster. And then the new car that I have coming, I don't have an established date. I don't wanna hype it up too much because you never know, it could be like later in winter, whatever. But the plan is there, and it's exactly what I wanna do. And that's gonna be the other side of things. I've always wanted to bag a car, I've always wanted to wide body a car, and I've always wanted to go ham on a car now that I know everything that I do and I've learned with this car. So that's what to expect, boys. Alrighty, bros, just keep driving, keep it real. I hope this was informational, I hope this was educational, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.